Namaste, I'm Jyoti. I'm the founder director of Ajanta Vihara Institute of Spiritual Sciences. Once again, I am back with this video on fifth dimensional consciousness. Now, many of you would like to know why is it so important. I might not even live till that time, or I've lived half my life, or I'm okay the way I am. I don't believe in all these weird stuff. Well, if you try to understand what are the shifts happening in this world in terms of lifestyle changes, in terms of what are people seeking and all, you will see that, a lot is different from the way it used to be many years ago. Sorry. Now, if you look at how currently healing practices are looked at compared to or alternative medicine, or people practicing spirituality, talking to gurus, spending time in ashram, a lot of inner work that people are doing, you find such a shift. I mean, there was a time when all this stuff was disregarded as waste of time, because you're talking religion, or you're talking something that's not practical and logical, and let's talk action, let's talk numbers and figures. Those are still important, but I think we have started to look beyond our belief system, which has existed for so many decades. We have started to understand that there is something more to us. There is a need for peace. There is a conscious need, an attempt to drive oneself to purpose and peace and meaning, and defining the right values, driven by empathy, driven by authenticity, driven by a lot of resilience and patience, to understand oneself. And I think this core need that has started to arise consciously, subconsciously and consciously we have had, is making us find the right environment. And if you are seeking that right environment, then this video is going to help. Maybe unconsciously you are seeking, and that's the reason you keep running to retreats, or you keep running to mountains or to landscape, or you are a trekker or a hiker who keeps disappearing into the woods or the mountains all the time, or you have disconnected yourself, or you choose to be in a hermit space, you are an introvert, or somehow, no matter what you do, you're spending so much of time with people, but still life feels full of void and there's a vacuum. That is because unconsciously you are seeking that fifth dimensional consciousness, and that consciousness is nothing. It's just a core understanding, practice, purpose, needs, values, driven by love, where love is the core. 360 degrees love frequency. Not the way we understand love today, but love as a frequency where you can heal, love, a frequency where you don't have to hold on to fear and fake yourself, where you can be very authentic to yourself and still do not have fear of being judged, validated. No need to please others to hold on to your identity. Now, of course, for that, you also need to do some work, right? Environment is shifting, everything's shifting, but you also need to do the work. So in last few videos, we have been talking about what you can do to align yourself to this fifth dimensional consciousness. The journey starts within. So in this video, I want to talk about how important it is to be kind, and how kindness can shift your frequency. Right now, how are you going to be kind? If you're not kind to yourself, you can never be kind to others. Even if you are a kind person, you will never be able to hold on to that kindness for others. Kindness will just come out as maybe being nice in terms of action, charity, in terms of helping people in a more transactional way, right, where you are validated for that gesture, that action, that activity. I'm talking about kindness as a part of your personality, kindness as a part of your value system, kindness as a part of your being. And how do you do that? It starts from your thoughts. Are you kind to people in thoughts? More, but before that, are you kind to yourself in thoughts? Are you all the time in a negative space with yourself, telling, oh, I always knew I couldn't do it, oh, my day is always horrible, oh, I always end up messing up? Are you in a very negative kind of a conversation with yourself? Are your dialogues with yourselves very negative, critical, coming from a lot of disrespect for self? Or is constantly depending on others' validation, or how you are able to please other peoples, and in turn they appreciate you, they give you attention, they validate you, your presence in their life? If that's what is happening, then you're not being kind to yourself. If you're all the time pleasing people, you're very unkind to yourself, you're very disrespectful to yourself. If you're all the time seeking people's attention, even by trying to play the victim card, and I see that so much. People use, sometimes people fall sick, and I'm not saying they are faking it, but it's a psychosomatic thing, falling sick. That's to seek validation, attention. And so if you are doing any of these things, if you're angry all the time on yourself or others, if you are not able to let go, forget, you're holding on to the past, you're all the time talking about the sufferings of your past and how life's been difficult, then you're not being kind to yourself. You are stuck. You are stuck in this bad quicksand, called victimhood. And you think you're trying, struggling really hard, to come out, but you're actually pulling yourself down because you don't want to understand how to come out of the quicksand. So first, be very kind to yourself. How can you be kind to yourself? Let us do this particular exercise for this week. So whatever exercises I tell you, please try to do these exercises, and these will help. These don't have to be in the sequential order that I'm posting these videos every week, but you can definitely do all these exercises. So what can you do to be kind? First, maybe if it helps, if you're a writing kind of a person, then start writing love letters to yourself. If you're not able to, then start recording. Today we live in a world where everybody is recording, right? So that camera shyness is not there. And if you have camera shyness, then maybe it's more important that you record yourself, because then that shows your very compromising relationship with yourself. You do not respect yourself, and you have very low self-worth. So switch on that camera and start talking to yourself about how what all you have achieved, not only in terms of the material world, home and car and all. Sure, talk about it, but also talk about those little small things that make you unique in your eyes, or that those are the things that took a lot of efforts for you, for something as simple as you were totally broken, but you still got up, and emotionally you were broken, but you still got up and you sat down with that staff of yours who was going through a bad time, and asked them, are you okay? Is everything okay with you? Right? Because in that moment you were not only kind to them, you were very respectful towards your ability, for your being that actually can heal somebody. So kindness can come in small little ways. Kindness can come by being very mindful of what you're talking to people, so that you don't end up hurting sentiments. Kindness can come as wanting to manipulate people, but still not, knowing that manipulation will work in your benefit, but still letting go. Now, manipulation is a strong word, but people manipulate on everyday basis. Children manipulate their parents, so they are children, then they can see what's happening around them, so they're just imitating what they see. They're the best mirrors. So be kind in small little ways, whether it is about appreciating yourself, it is about holding your anger, or holding your sharp and hurting words towards other. Be mindful of others' pain, others' struggles also. When somebody is talking to you, saying something to you, that doesn't mean that it's easy for them. Maybe it might have taken them a long, long time to reach you, to ask for that help, ask for that support, and in one moment you crush them. So let's not get into being unkind. Somehow we are so driven by fear and so caught up in our own struggles that being kind becomes very, very exhausting and tiring. So it's time for you to be kind. As I said, start writing love letters to yourself consciously every night. When before sleeping, sit down and try to understand how in that particular day you were kind to yourself. I remember when we were growing up, there was a beautiful exercise we used to do as a part of our scouts and guides, our NCC, where we used to have scarves, and you know and you would, like, put a knot if you've been kind to somebody. So number of knots, things like that. Or you can do it other way around, keep your knots and open your knots. Maybe you could just have a thread every night before sleeping, just put a knot based on how kind you were that day, and then at the end of the month you can look at the number of knots. That's your good karma, and it will get encashed. That's a hard currency out there, and it'll come to you with so much of interest that you can't even imagine. And that is a beautiful, beautiful way of buying your ticket to this fifth dimensional consciousness. Till next time, love and light. Hope this helps.